putting all the work in when it was required and required most. However, there are some people that are just joining us here for the first time, right? Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. It is good that you are here. Welcome to the family. Listen, the thing is, if you look to your left, you look to your right, you look who's behind you, in front of you, there's a lot of people who invest a lot of their time here each and every day. And there's a lot of successful people. But don't think that you jump in and then you're like, okay, what do I do now? No, it requires that investment of time. It's going to rub off of you and you're going to learn to make the right decisions at the right time. Speaking of which, right now, everyone is in a position of power, holding strong, and no one's chasing price. We're preemptive of price, right? So now, by the way, do you remember everyone waiting for the horizontal line up here at the new all-time to break? And we're like, wait, we're going to be preemptive down here coming out of the descending wedge, leaning in hard over here, break of the most important trend line in crypto. Oh, guys, I think there's going to be space. Well, there's space now, right? And then playing it out. And that leads us to what's next and where we are. We're going to talk about that to make sure that everybody has their bearings here. Listen up before we even have fun. First of all, it's business as usual. you gotta walk the balance. You have fun, enjoy the moment, savor the moment. But at the same time, it's more important than ever that you work harder than ever, because right now is game time. It's more important than ever as we enter this emotional stage of the cycle when everyone thinks that they're an expert and it's so easy, that you are more focused than ever, more conservative than ever, because we are going to be reaching, and suddenly, prices that become overvalued. That's not the place to begin taking risk. There are still and there will be more opportunities. One of them could be if we come back in and we have a pullback here testing the break of the all-time high, the top of this little area right over here, somewhere around 64,000, right? We might, and we might not. And if we do, or even if we get a nice pullback and then resume off of it, that is potentially a good entry. Another good entry, of course, is going to be out of the correction of wave 2. Now, that might be substantially higher. That's okay. It calls for discipline right now. I don't know, by the way, this is just the zone. And by the way, when I put that in there, that was before we broke out of the correction of wave 1. Price was right over here when I drew this in. People were like, that's a little steep. That's a little crazy. I don't see that happening. What about right now? Seems like we're setting up pretty well. Where it ends, that's a good question to look at. I refer always to Brad's beautiful artwork over here. And it's a coincidence that he's got the peak of that. You know, I have the peak over here right around 79,000, the low 68,000, trying to shoot. Could you imagine trying to shoot a bullseye from far away as early as possible? I hope we get it, right? But there's some resistance up here. It's somewhere around $77,000 right now. It's this blue trend line. This area over here, is that going to be the top? If you saw what Miles did, Miles saw, all right, Jordan over here once again playing games. Let me dig further. And by the way, I'm coming in as early as possible, right? I'm telling you that in the previous 2 cycles from the peak of wave 1, this is the peak of wave 1. This is coming into wave 2. It's a 50%, at least a 50% gain. Miles goes ahead, digs in, and he's like with the precision. Well, it was 58% both times. 58%, that puts us somewhere around 84,000. I saw Jesse has around 84,000 as well. And is it possible that we end up higher? Of course, right? Now, the first test of this blue line, I do imagine that we're going to see some type of resistance over there, but we'll be watching. I don't know where the top is of wave 2 or anything like that. We'll try to get it in real time as best as possible. The most bullish thing that we could have and see would be Bitcoin coming into this trend line over here. I have it bright on a lot of models. Let me jump in over here. So my trend lines aren't on this model. Okay. Let me come back over here. At least Ted's got him over here on the staging model. This trend line over here, this white line, you can see the 1 touch, the 2 touch, the 3 touch. These comes off the prime trend line that we drew. We've been inside this channel here for 9 years. That's why I believe if we come towards the top, there's a good chance that's where price will peak out, right? That's the top of the sweet spot, that red line over there. Coming into the white one, that should provide resistance. If we're able to, the most bullish case that I could foresee and or think of would be coming into that area on wave 2, right? And then that would bring us back for the pullback and lift off. I know that Alan, by the way, the root. Okay, could everyone just take a second over here? I was going to say that, I'm sorry, Jesse, I was going to say, and Jesse also was right around that 84,000 range, 85 range, showing the potential for target is 2. And I loved and I liked and I really liked when I see Jesse and Miles had the same area over there. I love seeing that confluence. I love it. I love it. Love it. CTM strong. So if we're coming in somewhere around 83,000, by the way, that means that we are looking somewhere easy skates, in my opinion, between 2 and 250,000. We will see, and we do not know for sure. We do not know for sure at all whether or not that this is going to be wave 1 into wave 2 into liftoff and the blow off top and cycle peak. Now, all signs are pointing go. There's no question about that. By the way, how early did we point it out, and how long did we stick to it with that confidence, right? How long did we hold? And there's no reason to abandon it yet if we do, right? Everything looks right on time. This is, we said coming into wave 2 while we were still in the correction, that wave 2 was going to be now the most important thing, right? Wait, and here we go, and we're right on time. So again, here we go. When we were in the correction of wave 1, we were like, all right, as wave 2 broke the correction, before it confirmed, we're like, all right, wave 2, Ted pointing out, hey, wave 2 makes or breaks the model. And it's always that way, right? And here we are coming into wave 2 right on time. So it looks good when the root throws up some signals over there and is showing, as the blue dots begin, that gives more, let's say, a higher probability that we are looking at that peak in December. So, until we see that something is off, we continue with that laser focus, the horse blinders on, making sure we get it right. Bitcoin is volatile. Do not take any risks. We are preemptive of momentum. If you are here and just joining us and don't feel that you are fully positioned in from a position of strength, as I know that anyone who, everyone else that was here and has been here obviously is, but if you're not, there's no FOMO. It's like you're in the right place. Now just sit back, put in the time, and you're going to be on point and you're going to be on signal. Let me pull this up onto by the way, we're going to be we made some changes about a month ago or so when we went CTM only, doing our live streams Monday through Friday private in this environment. Since we've done that, the quality, which was already pretty good, has been exceptional. It's been a very smart choice here for the community. We're able to work in this type of environment. We're going to have some more changes. I'm going to be adding a lot of material for all of you. And we're also going to be changing the price structure. All of you, of course not. You're grandfathered in, but we're going to be basically doubling the prices. That's going to help us keep a very mature and selective community about who works with us. We want to keep ourselves open to talent. As you've seen, we've attracted some massive talent, and we want to make sure that we're able to make sure that's open for other people, right? But at the same time, we want to make sure to drown out some of the noise. Let's look at what's going on over here. I'm bringing this up to you, and I want to talk about my thoughts, because my thoughts are on the bear market, right? I have confidence we're going to nail the top with our team. Like I said, we have some massive talent around us here, and the intensity which we take this seriously. You're surrounded by a bunch of people who work really hard and really well together. With all certainty and truth and sincerity, we have the best team. And there's so many giving so many different vantage points, covering every angle. And we're always what? We're always worried about our risk. We're always worried about where we're wrong. We're always worried about our downside. There's a reason for that, right? That's what keeps us on the right side. That's what keeps us, let's say, focused and continuing to work where we need to work. And that's where we are. So listen, I think the messages that need to be shared today in a very short time have been shared. So we got a few questions over here. And also I saw earlier in the session, it was Joe pointing out S&P 500, it's resuming out. Look at that. Boom. New all-time high. Getting close to that new all-time high. Who of us on the sell impulse was talking about the potential risk, and then as everyone was talking about the markets are crashing, we're like, yeah, it looks like it's correcting, but don't worry about it. And here we are right now. Beautiful stuff to see. We want to see this, by the way. We would love to see the equity markets continue over the next 60 days or so to continue to just keep pumping. There's a lot of risk ahead. Today's not the day. Right? We did that last week. We did that like so strong, talking about the macro risk. Maybe that was Monday. It's a long week. It was on Monday session, right? Was it Monday? Yeah, it was Monday session. If you haven't watched it yet, the link is in the announcements channel. And we're really focused in on what the risk with the Fed is and what potential policy steps they may take towards the end of the year. You saw, by the way, Paul Tudor Jones this morning on CNBC, and he's like, listen, the inflation, it's not transitory. Listen, everyone catches up. There's no question about that. CTM, for whatever reason, I don't know. We just have this uncanny knack to be on the right side for a long time. And when we don't know, we don't know. We're kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen here. Let's wait and watch. Let's see. What else is coming? The dollar is coming off, which is nice. If we see the dollar kind of resume down over here, we could take a little further breath, right? Look at that nice double top. No, it's not horizontal. It's following the trend line. That's a 12-year trend line going back to 2008. Above this line, one marked in yellow, by the way, that's when we could see a prolonged period of dollar strength. That probably will be happening if we see the Fed, not taper, but set up a taper by the end of the year. That will lead to a dollar bid, most likely. So watch out. But right now you can see, and here is just like lining up, coming out of that double top, like the clear sell impulse, right? Follow this line to this line, and then boom, there it is right there. And, not out of the woods, but like you could take a breath. We would love to see coming into cycle peak, the dollar sell off. In the previous two cycles, TechDev pointed out that the DXY did sell off coming into that cycle peak at the end. So that would be a great sign that things are on time. But Matt going ahead and pointing out even better, and I don't have it, I need to have this as one of my tabs, Matt's tweet where he's showing how each time the 10-year peaked into the mean of the channel. I don't have it, so I can't talk about it, but we're moving in the right direction. So that's all good. Ethereum making new all-time highs today. No, not new all-time highs. I don't know why I said that. But here it is. Ethereum's good. If you're speculating, have fun. By the way, even though Bitcoin dominance during wave 2 is expected to be strong against the dollar, we expect alts to pump. Jordan, is it okay to hold Cardano, Polygon, etc.? I'm not afraid of Bitcoin coming down, but the other coins, they shake bad. Is it okay to keep? So we expect through the cycle peak for all coins to do their thing. That's the expectation. And the expectation that there's going to be some fireworks here, right? And we're looking not only at Bitcoin market cap going up, we're looking at all cryptocurrency market cap going up. And yeah, I think alts are going to continue to explode. That's my own personal opinion. Now, that doesn't mean that I choose to be invested in them. I don't. I focus on one thing. I am highly focused, highly concentrated, and there's a reason for it. But I do expect, if you ask me, as you're asking me, my opinion, yeah, I do believe, in my opinion, that, Cardano and whatever alt, it's like monkey throws a dart, you should get it right, and that's for sure. That's the truth, right? So as far as a double bottom or Adam and Eve pattern, I'm not sure, John, what you're looking at. And the only reason I say that is because that's a bottoming pattern. We're over here now making new all-time highs, so we're not bottoming out over here. So is this what you're talking about? Were you talking about that? I mean, I don't see it here. I'm trying no, right? That was a descending wedge. By the way, it was the Adam and Eve at the bottom of 2008, December 2008, that had me over here saying, all right, I think that we got the bottom in after the capitulation. So it's that 4-year cycle awareness, and then it's watching the TA and the price action to make sure that we get it right. That's how we do. Alan Al, definitely we're having an all-time high party for sure. It's the first blue dot. The Root posted it. We all enjoy it because we worked hard. We worked. Well, I think we worked harder than anyone else I know. There, not anyone. I'm sure there are other people out there, but sincerely, I think we worked harder than anyone else out there. I really do. There's a reason that we have the type of focus and accuracy that we do. We put in the effort, right? It takes that type of work ethic. It takes that type of dedication. And, so of course we get to enjoy it, but it's business as usual. If you ever saw Jobs, the movie with Ashton Kutcher about the life of Steve Jobs, the day the company goes public and everyone's in the office celebrating, right? You see Ashton playing Jobs walk into the room, walk right through the office, and it was like, I'm right to work. And that's what it is, right? So you want to walk a fine line right now. Yes, fun. Take the moment to enjoy, but at the same time, let's keep going. Someone mentioned that this looks quite similar. Boom and boom. And remember, we were pointing that out over the past few weeks ahead of time, but here we are right now. And does that mean that we're ready for a pullback or coming in? Who knows? We're in price discovery. This is sincere. I don't know what happens next. I only know that we are holding from a position of power, and we're going to maintain that. It is so important in a bull market as the bull is running to sit on your hands. To do nothing, to sit on your hands. That's the hard part. There are people taking profit today. Right? And okay, but listen, the hardest part is making sure that you ride the bull as it bucks. This is not any type of... Do we think that this is the top of wave 2? There's not one of us here. When I say one of us, everyone who's kind of like working out what the projection should be, where we have that awareness, that belief that we're anywhere close to the top of wave 2. I don't believe in taking profit unless it moves too far. So that would kind of be, I don't want to take profit at 77,000, right? So, and I said this all, by the way, do you remember as we were breaking out over here and it loaded up heavy over here? And I said to you, look, as we come into 70, 80,000, do you think I'm going to take profit? No way. Right? And that's the same thing. So what we're looking for and waiting for is if we see price go a little too far, right? I see price come into that white line, 90, 95. Yeah, that would be a place where I would take some off the table and then wait and look for the pullback. By the way, Ted, Ian, early on, when I say early on, I'm talking about in April, in May, talking about how $100,000 was going to be a psychological barrier. A lot of people initially taking profit right around that area. Hold numbers generally are in the market. Some people think that this cycle, if it makes to $100,000, mission accomplished. And at that point, is that where we see the pullback? That would be like the best case scenario that I can envision. I would be taking profit. I'm not looking to take profit. What I'm setting up and waiting for and look for is when the eventual correction of wave 2 comes in, and then the repair out of it. That's where I look to add and look to attack. Okay, so until then, we're on autopilot, position of power. So I think we got that. Wait, Patrick, how far will the pullback be? I have no idea. I think, I'm not sure. I think that in the previous 2 cycles, it was somewhere around 23, 25%. So that would seem right on. But I have no idea. But Patrick, what I do know and what we're going to do together as it's happening is the same thing that we did right over here. And it was during the correction of wave 1, right? During that correction, let me take off that yellow line. During that correction of wave 1, very early, I drew in the line. And then we know when the repair happens. And then, by the way, we'll also be talking about the Black Diamond entry. On this particular correction, I took a Black Diamond entry here, stopped out as price came back down, and then I set up for another Black Diamond entry. That took that one obviously still holding. And then on the repair of the wave, another entry. Now, you might not get a Black Diamond entry on liftoff if it plays out according to plan. Because if it plays out according to plan, we're going to see like a V that's going to look something or resemble something like that, which is great. Who cares if we don't get opportunity for a Black Diamond entry and just get the line of repair? But, I mean, that's where patience is key until, we could plan ahead, and we do plan ahead, checking all different options. By the way, before going live today, I had no idea what we were going to talk about or what I could say. I was like, what kind of value could I add today? I have no idea. So if you think that if we're doing it and we're covering it, go ahead and definitely show a little bit of love, smash that like button. But, listen, how it plays out in real time, that's obviously the hard part. It helps when you have the advantage of the awareness that we have to keep going over here. But, we do it together. That's why we got the best team. It's just as important right now that no one make any mistakes. You could make mistakes if you take the liberty to feel too comfortable and make bad decisions. We are preemptive. We buy out of corrections. We buy out of repairs of corrections. We don't, after the extension, look to take more. All right? Very, very important here that everyone that's riding with us make sure that we ride it well, because the bull of all bulls is running, and we are eventually getting to the point where it melts faces off. And people think that the price, Bitcoin's only up 3% today, and people think it's coming in hot and hard. Wait until this thing starts bucking and moving, right? That's why we need to stay calm together. That's why we need to stay focused and continue riding right now, wave 2, right? Wave 2, and then watch very clearly the price action out of the correction and what happens right afterwards to make sure that as we go into, if we're going into liftoff, first of all, and if not, how we play it out from there. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you for everything that you add all the time. So supportive, so grateful for your presence among us and everything that all of you do, for sure. And what else? What else are we looking at? What else should we focus in on, if anything? Ethereum, Bitcoin, let's check out what's going on over here. This resumed down, okay? So now what are we watching over here? Let's see if we could get some help to know whether or not this thing starts reversing. And I think we should go like this. That would be the first indication of break of this trend line, that we are seeing the momentum change and a buy pulse initiate. Now I just want to confirm myself and check myself, because I'm doing this very quickly, right? So there you go. What this is actually the confirmation. I'm going to make this a different color right now. I'll make that green. Right? And this one over here is a black diamond one. So I'll make it black, then you can't see it. So I'm kidding with you. I'll make that one yellow, like caution. All right? That's what we'll be watching going forward. But so right now we're still in a strong sell impulse on Ethereum, Bitcoin. Say it rabbit. It's so important to start with. First of all, again, if you're new here, welcome. It's most important that you start with the correct posture. And that posture is that I'm here to learn. So by learning, I'm going to make the commitment to invest my time. And there's a good reason why you should invest your time here. It's absolutely ridiculous what we've done and what we've accomplished and how many traders we formed into giants. It's unreal. For whatever reason, it's just happening. So we're going to stay with it. But this is, you got to follow the plan. You got to work with the procedure. And you got to have the right time preference. And Mark, that's the thing. It only matters about where we are today and where we're going tomorrow. What do I mean by that? Listen, there are so many people I'm so impressed with their mindset that they have spent, at this point, seemingly maybe a year with us at least, and they are not trading at all this cycle. They took their Bitcoin position. Maybe they've added to spot during the mid-cycle dip. But they're focused on the coming bear market and next cycle, and they understand the importance of getting it right. I think we had an appropriate session today as Bitcoin makes the new all-time highs. There it is, James.
Markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing. The prices might be slashing just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room. Grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Flow from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
All right, everyone. Beautiful, beautiful session. Thanks for spending the time. I hope you all have a beautiful day. You worked so hard. I hope that you enjoy this moment as you should. As you should. But at the same time, everyone, let's keep grounded. Let's make sure that we bring this thing home. So we're going to do our best to balance that and make sure that no one makes any mistakes. Right now, we're coming to a portion of the cycle that is unforgiving. No mistakes can be made. It takes our A game. It takes our dedication that has gotten us this far. And let's make sure that we continue because, listen, it rhymes, but it's always different. And any curveball thrown out at us, together, we got a team of warriors here. Together, we're going to make sure that we stay on the right side. Have a beautiful day, everyone. It is the dream team. There's no question about that. And thanks for every one of you who gives so much to contribute to make sure that CTM is so special. Have a beautiful day, everyone, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.